Alrighty, alrighty. We're not starting yet. We're gonna get it's Space Wizard in here on the stream, and then we'll get started around 7:30. So right now we're still trying to. Technically, we're trying to get everything working. So let's see what happens here. We're gonna use Streamlabs has a thing called Collab Cam, so we're gonna try that out. We've done it before. Works pretty good. So let's see what happens here. I see Zach right there. All right. Volume's good. Show on stream. Bam. Oops, I can't. Where are you at? Collab cam. View. Bam. There you are. Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me okay? Beautiful. You still there? All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, we'll get started here in a second. Can you see my screen okay? You want me to share? You want me to share my screen so you can see it through Slack? Let me open Slack up. Hold on 1 second. Is the background music too loud? I have to download Slack onto here real quick. I'm working on my other monitor so you guys can't see me. See me on there. Do. Right now we're trying to get my Slack set up so I can share my screen so it's Space Wizard Zach can see my screen a little better. Maybe not. I'm waiting for a code. Do you have my stuff? You have my stuff for the Dev Express and everything? I gotta mute that background music. There you go. Yeah, do you have all the information for Dev Express? Yeah, I can throw it to you in Slack. Give me a second. I have Slack on my phone as well, so. All right, you ready? So it should be my regular my email address for the floral. I should have registered that with 24 Studios, but. And then it's the. Yeah, but I think you still need to log in. It's the standard. I think it's just the standard B3 with the pound sign. Do 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 do. So I'm gonna be popping the Sabres game on here in about 10 minutes too in the background. Download Slack. There we go. Yeah, I think the other one in there is just like a how to, like a documentation or whatever. Nothing big. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I actually got like so the camera you're looking at me right now at is my new Elgato face cam, and it kind of gives you a better range of what you can see. And then my old camera, I put it behind me so you can see like down on me. Yeah, so if you look here in this in this frame, my old camera's like right there. I just bought like a 10-foot USB cable that kind of runs over and plugs into the computer. So I can kind of flip it around and you can kind of see the programming setup here. You can see the camera over here. It's kind of cool. I've been playing with the Stream Deck as well. I made it so you could turn off that. Oops, you could turn off the top bar. And then I could turn you off real quick too. Yeah, it was just playing with it today a little bit while I was trying to get everything set up. All right, so I downloaded Slack. And I will go ahead and get that installed real quick. You just gotta make sure that like any passwords and stuff that doesn't get like displayed on stream. So anything, I like my one screen shared, so everything on that screen can be viewed, and then everything else on the other screen. How's Apollo doing? Me and Mama got sushi today. Actually, it goes down good for her. There's your buddy Apollo. That's cool. What do you do? Eat like a bunch of bark and stuff? Oh, changing his food kind of like made him like act weird. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Let me see if I can share. Let's see. We might, if we do a Slack meeting, let's just make sure that the audio don't like reverberate. You know. Give me a second here. I gotta find you. And there you are. So let's do a. Yeah, I actually got, so when I connected up the streaming computer with GitHub and stuff, and kind of like I cloned the repository. There was a lot of stuff missing, so I figured out a lot of stuff. So next time we have to do it again, I can help you out. You know. All right, so let me like see here. I'm turning my microphone is off in Huddle, but I will share my screen so you have a better view of it. Yeah, get the latest version because I think I I have version like 22, the latest versions going on. All right, screen number 2 is up. Let me know if you can see it. Cool, cool, cool. I lowered the resolution too on that screen because it is so wide. Like I don't even think the people can still see code. Like when I get into code, like you could see it now. I'm sharing screen, but like. But in stream, I don't know if they're gonna be able to see code or whatever. When we start talking about it, I'll try to explain it and stuff like that. So. And I'll explain some things about when I cloned the repository, what I had to do a little bit different. Let me know too if the background music that's distracting or whatever. I can hear you just fine. Yep. I. Okay, good, good. Then I make it so you can actually like take a look. I got the PS5 like kind of like boom, there it is. Think. Yeah. I'm learning. I'm learning. All right, let me get the Sabres game going in the background too. Yeah, they need to beat Toronto, man. They're like so close to a wild card spot, you know. I think we got like 60 points. I think we have 60, and I think 63 is where like the Islanders or somebody's in those spots. But we got like 6 games or 5 games or something. We have played like 5 less games than a bunch of other teams in the playoff spots. So I think it's on Hulu actually. Yeah, it might be on Hulu. All right, bear with us, everybody that's watching. We're gonna do some programming here in a minute. We're just kind of getting things rolling. The essentials, getting the Buffalo Sabres game in the background. I'm using Spectrum to try to pull it up. But it might be on Hulu. Yeah, I think it's on Hulu actually, or it might be on ESPN Plus. Hockey night. There it is. There it is. Really? Okay. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. We got it's on ESPN Plus. I got it in the background. Are you ready to get started? All right, I have to go pee first. Fig- Figures right. All right, guys, we'll be back in a minute. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then we're going to get down and do some programming. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Hey, check out these. So I got these headphones. The other one's busted, and the microphone is actually it's a it's like a plug-in. Um, no, what's the name of the company? The G something. Hold on. Oh, it's a Logitech G. Let me go to the G Hub. It's a Logitech headset, I think. Yeah, the G733. But it's just kind of neat because the headset kind of like it unplugs and then it bends and stuff like that. Alrighty, let's get down to it. Are you able to see it okay on your screen? All right, so for everybody watching the stream, we're programming using Visual Basic.net, VB.net. The actual GUI that we use, the IDE, is Visual Studio 2022. And the cool thing about Visual Studio 2022 or Visual Studio in general is that 2022 is the first year that they actually release a pure 64-bit GUI or IDE. And so it's a lot quicker. Still has some bugs in it and stuff, but like from 2021 and in the past, it's always been 32-bit. So you could program a 64-bit application in Visual Studio 2021 and previous, but the actual IDE itself was always 32-bit. So this year being at 64, it actually runs a lot faster and it can handle a lot more. So if you were wondering what we're using, it's free. Visual Studio 2022. They have a community version, so you can go out there and download it and play with it. It supports multiple programming languages like C# and VB and Python, whatever you want to throw it at it. You can actually even do website programming if you wanted to. I've never done it inside this at all. So the actual the program that we're programming for future is called the POS. It's a point of sale application, a generalized point of sale application for everybody. So it's for every walk of life. Our claim to fame with 2-4 Studios is we create niche point of sale products. So like we try to go into spaces that aren't like flooded. The point of sale, the POS, is actually a flooded market, but we're creating this as like a basis, like a structure a template for our future niche products. So we own right now our claim to fame, our huge claim to fame is called the Floral POS. It's a floral point of sale program for florists, and we've been very successful with that. So that's why we're trying to grow our market, trying to grow our fingers out there, and just kind of get a piece of other pies out there that are niche, like a tattoo, the fitness industry. There's a lot more out there. We're trying not to compete with everybody that's the 1.5 million other point of sales out there. So niche products is where we're trying to go after. So today we're going to work on a thing called the order browser. And what that is when you take an order inside of our program, you need to be able to view the order. You need to be able to edit it, maybe reprint receipts or a work ticket. So this is the thing we're working on today. So we're going to get going. We're not really going to train anybody, or we're not going to teach you how to program. We're just going to do what me and Zach do. Like I'm going to program. He's going to watch. If he has questions, he asks questions, and I explain along the way as I'm programming. So here we go. And it's a nice stash you got there, Zach. So if you guys don't know, it's Space Wizard. It's Space Lizard. Space Wizard is actually to the right on my stream. He's a streamer, but he's also my son. He's in the military, is in the Air Force, and when he gets out of the Air Force, he's going to work for me, and he's going to be one of my software guys. So if you guys don't know him already, go follow him on Twitch at It's Space Wizard, on Twitter. It's Space Wizard as well, and it's ITZ Space Wizard. And Space Wizard's actually a play on Star Wars. It's basically a Jedi. That's what they are, space wizards, right? So, all right, let's get down to business. So first things first is I'm just starting with a blank canvas here, but we're going to run the program so you guys can see how far or what we got going on so far. So the back end of our product, it connects to MySQL, so our database where we store all of our data, all of our orders and stuff like that go right into MySQL. It's a locally installed database on a Windows machine, and that's where all the data you're going to see here getting pushed in is going to be. So here is the POS in all its glory. We're going to log in. Very, very simple. We got a lot more to program, so keep that in mind. So right now, if you look at the main screen here, upper left-hand side is going to be like your time clock, date, and all that stuff, so you can actually clock in. We don't have that programmed yet. And the center is all of your main icons that kind of you can kind of guide yourself in a direction. So we have a control panel, which is like behind the scenes. It's going to have all of your managerial stuff, all your system configuration stuff. And again, this will be full of icons when we're done with it. Right now, we've only got a handful in there. You also have like your customer admin screen, your order browser, which we're going to be programming. If you click on that, nothing happens. And then we have our inventory management screen. So we do have our customer screen programmed, and we do have a couple customers in there. And this is fully functional. If we click on Zachary and then click on his phone book here, his email book, it'll show email addresses that he has available. If you click on his phone book, it shows phone numbers available. So these are all stored in MySQL. So we're just pulling data. The thing about creating applications is you're always trying to input data and you're trying to display data. Save data, input, save it, and then display it again, and then edit it. That's really everything you're doing. Even when you play a video game, when you're playing NHL or you're playing COD, you're literally like trying to say you're creating data. You want to input data, input like your character, input like your build of your NHL dude, or you're saving your cards for NHL. So it's all data getting saved somewhere in the cloud, and then you're displaying that data. So, or using it. That's all we're doing here as well on a lower level. So right now, if we were going to take an order, we can search by first name, last name, phone number. So let's say phone number. Start typing the number. It'll look at different locations. Let's say we select Timothy Bell. It grabs his information, then we can take an order. When you go to take an order, if you look in the upper right hand side here, it has my information. and then we can start like dropping items into your shopping cart. All this is programmed by me and Zach from previous sessions, and we'll come back to this. We're just showing you what we have done so far. Same thing if Timothy Bell is actually selected here, we can click on View Customer, and it'll bring Timothy Bell's information up. We clear that out of here, and we select another last name, say Bell. Select Zachary, same thing, take an order. Zach's information's right here. And View Customer is Zach's customer information. Hopefully it makes sense. The last thing that we worked on that we were together, Zach, if you remember, is the login stuff. So if you see here, Timothy Bell is the person that's logged in right now. I can actually click on this drop-down menu, select Zachary, and it'll log Zach right in. So if we go to take an order right now, if you look on the lower right-hand side of the order, it shows Zachary Bell was the employee that's taken that order. Same thing, if I select Timothy Bell, go ahead and take order. I'm the one who's actually in the database now that's taken this order. Another cool thing that I learned from my other point of sale that we designed is I always have a history going, a running history of what's going on for everything. So I don't know if you can see this on stream, but like everything that we do from a technical point of view, from a tech support, when we're trying to support the product, a lot of times the user will call in and say, your point of sale is doing this, your software is doing this, like I didn't do this, blah, 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 why is it doing this? Well, we can go back and do our history, and we can look at exactly what they did to the order or what they've done inside the system, and we can kind of pinpoint what they did to cause that situation. If they delete something, like it magically disappeared. Well, then you look through here in the history and it shows that they deleted it and it actually tells you what user deleted it. So we can actually, from a technical support, this is like such an amazing godsend that we added this in there. And we try to add, like whenever we add a new form, even the order browser, we'll try to, if there's anything we can add to history inside the order browser, like when they go to view it, we'll add that history in there as well. So, all right, let's get to programming. On stream, you can see it okay? Okay. Toronto scored already? Yeah, so that was pretty crazy yesterday. We're at Giancarlo's, just sitting there, or we walked in, and as I walk into Giancarlo's, Owen Power standing at the podium, like trying to get his table with his girlfriend. Yeah. And then his table wasn't ready, so he goes to the Oyster Bar, and then all of a sudden in walks Tage Thompson, his girlfriend. Is it 2-0 now? Who scored the goals? It wasn't Ryan O'Reilly as two, is it? I think he might have two, they said. I think it's UPL. Yeah, Ryan O'Reilly scored both. Basically, exactly the same thing. Mitch Marner with the assist, John Tavares assist, Ryan O'Reilly with the goal. All right, the boys got to do something. This gonna be a long day. That's the case. All right, Zach. So it looks like did you upload everything that you did? You created that the order browser form, right? Okay. So if you're watching right now on the right-hand side of Visual Studio, they usually have it's called the Solution Explorer. And that's where all your forms and all of your like assemblies that are required that you need to run your program are over here. So one thing, Zach, that I had to do is it's kind of weird in .NET 7. If you go to Project and you go to Properties, once it loads. So in like .NET 4.8 or whatever, like with the Floral POS and stuff, if I go in here and I go to references, and it shows kind of like what we're using, I can't you don't see like MySQL. I can't grab MySQL stuff in like on our in .NET 4.8. It's like really weird. So you have to actually kind of do it a different way. So when I clone the repository from GitHub, I had to actually go to the I think it's dependencies here, and then go to assemblies. See how we have the mail, and then we have MySQL data. These two things. I had to actually delete these, remove, and then I had to go and I think I had to go here and go add project reference. And then no, it's empty. Like usually it gives you everything that we have here, right? I had to go to browse and I had to grab it. So what I ended up doing is I brought over to my local PC. I created a folder called dev, and I just kind of put like here's the two things we have. So I have the MySQL connector that we're referencing, and then I had the email engine that we're using to email stuff out is in here as well. So I'll kind of explain what that means is when you're programming, you don't all have all of the files to connect to MySQL. You don't have all the files to send email out. So you can reference another file. It's called a DLL. It's a dynamic link library. So we use we connect to a MySQL database. And MySQL, if you go to mysql.com, they have a .NET connector that you can download, and then all it is a DLL. It's another program they created, a small file that you can reference, and you can use that to connect to a MySQL database in the back end. So right here in the assemblies, we reference the MySQL.data DLL, and that way the system knows that's what you got to use to connect to MySQL. So that's what we're talking about. That's kind of like a quick fast of it. Not going to get too deep into it, but all right. So that's what I had to do. I had to basically remove both of these assemblies and re-reference them again. So it's now 3-0. They're gonna probably have to. They're gonna have to pull UPL and put somebody else in or something. Put Anderson in or something. UPL is usually good. It's Ukapek Lukanen. Oh, you mean that goal? That was John Tavares, I think, right? It's that same exact line. That line has scored 3 goals already. Yeah, so if you're in assemblies and you have an exclamation point like next to mail or next to MySQL data, just remove it and then reference it to the one that we're using. So, yeah. So let me show you my folder structure. So maybe I can send these to you too. Let me bring it over so you can see it. So if I was you, what I would do is just create a folder called dev on your C drive in the root. And then anything that we're referencing, like a MySQL connector or like the email engine, just create a folder and then drop them in here. And then once you remove them, just reference them back, reference this file in there. Also, when you re-reference it, what I end up doing is once it's referenced officially, do a copy local. Set that to yes, because what that does is like when you build the actual program and it creates the files to run the program, it'll automatically bring that the MySQL that data into your folder so you can run it. If you don't do it, it'll always try to reference that where you put it, and then when we go to build it in the future or release it to the public, it'll, instead of trying to bring it with itself when we package it, it'll actually try to look in that folder on their computer, and it'll never run. It'll give you an error message. Yeah. Let me send this. Let me create a zip file. Let me just zip this up for you real quick. Yeah, give me a second. Give me a second here. I'm gonna zip that up and I'll throw it on Slack so you can grab it. Okay. So I'm just going to I don't know. Do you have a dev folder already created on your C drive? So I'm just gonna, so I'm gonna send this to compress the zip file, and then I'll drag and drop that into Slack so you have it. Not this, not particularly these files, the DLLs. I put them around this C drive. Yeah, and the repos. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So let me open up Slack here real quick. All right, I'm sending you that zip file right now. It's 19 megabytes. Man, I can't believe it's 3-0 already. Marner has 3 assists already. We definitely need these points. Like if we're gonna make a push, I know Toronto's like they're like a top team in regards to points. They're like 2 or 3 in the standings on our side of the fence in our division. So they're already kind of like in the playoffs. Not that they're in the playoffs, but they have enough points to make the playoffs already. But we definitely need to beat them. We need all the points we can get. All right, looks like it's up. Looks like it's there, Zach. If you want to grab it. You can't hear me? Okay. Oh, you can't hear me on your stream. Interesting. Well, this is kind of like a testing 1 2 testing. And this is really realistically, this is just like a test stream anyways. Like sit tight, everybody watching. I'm going to get 2 viewers on my side of the fence, but we're just like waiting for Zach to get his program fully functional on his side of the fence. Yeah, it's kind of different, right? Let's go. Yeah, Sabe's got to figure something out, man. Hello, 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 hello. Testing 1 2. I got Fuzzy Designs or Fuzzy Designs. I got them making us a new logo for the Floral POS as well. And see what they. Yeah, we'll see what they come up with. If you, I got some emotes as well. I'll show you real quick while we're. Here's so they made me some badges for the like when you subscribe. I think it's oh can you see them? Yeah, you can see them because you're your shared screen. Yeah, and then here's some they made me some emotes right there. So I got GG, Schooled, and then Boom Shakalaka. Yeah, his company designs some good stuff. That's for sure. All right, let me know when you want to go forward with doing the order browser. Did you? Yeah. Are you figuring that out now with the files and stuff? Another score, 4-0. Like we can't do anything against the Toronto at all. We are getting whooped. Jeez, bunting. I think it's in Toronto, isn't it? Or no, no, it's home. Holy shit. I mean, I know Toronto's good, but like, holy cow. Like 4-0 in the first period. Like, are you kidding me? That's incredible. Yeah, UPL's out. Craig Anderson's going in. Damn. And I don't think it's his fault. Like, our defense is just playing like fucking shit. Excuse my language. Sorry, like I had to swear, but it's irritating. 4-0. Like, we're a way better team than that. We'll see what Craig can do for us. Maybe that sparks the team or whatever. So right now, if you're listening to the stream, Zach's actually Space Wizard. Zach is actually working on getting his application running on his side of the fence. So, okay. Yeah, so all you do with your dependencies, if you have that question mark or that exclamation point in it, is right click, remove, and then right click here and go to add project reference, and then browse to those files to the DLL file first. Also, Zach, too, I think if you sync up the latest version, have you synced up the latest version too from GitHub? All right. Did you sync up the latest version from GitHub? Okay, because the latest version is going to bring over a new license too, the mail license.xml. It's going to bring over that over as well. Yeah, I think you have the old one though. So if you click on mail license and it shows like the internals of it, the new one should have 2-4 Studios as the registrar or registered too. Okay, that's good. All right. Are you able to run it and get it up and running?
No, I'll have to deal with it later because I'm getting the
icons and stuff.
yeah, it says cannot write to the output file. Users source repo Super Studios POS OBJ debug. That's basically the POS resources.
All right, yeah. Let me know like if you need help getting that working. All right. Let's go to order browser. So we have a form here called order browser. If you want to create a new form, you just go to project and then just do add form, like a Windows form. We've already done that already. So we're going to scroll down here in our Solution Explorer and we're going to grab order browser. Man, it still sucks. I can't believe that the Sabres are getting whooped 4-0 right now. If you look at Zach's feed, his dog's in the background doing something. What's he doing? That's funny. All right, so we're just waiting for this to load up. Yeah, I've opened this before, like on the gaming PC, just to test out. But you mean it opening slowly? Yeah, I don't know why. All right, so this is this standard form, right? There's like nothing here. When you create a new form, these two things aren't in here. It's just a blank canvas. So then Zach actually added this thing here. It's called the it's a data grid view, and there's two of them. What a data grid view is it allows you to display data, grab data and display it. And so what we're gonna do is when this order browser opens, so there's like a bunch of different things that a form can do. A form can actually, like when it loads. So when you click on a button or something, you can actually make a form load up. When it loads up, you can have it do some stuff. You can have it show you data. So that's our goal here. Is we're gonna have this form load up from a push of a button. When it loads up, it's gonna load like a default data set. It's gonna load like all your orders from like however long. So I made the mistake when I programmed the Floral POS at the beginning, and I never told Zach this, I don't think. When we first programmed the Floral POS, I didn't know that people were going to have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of orders in the order browser. So I didn't actually put a limit to the orders that were loading. So if they had 100,000 orders from like the beginning of time when they bought our product, at the beginning it would try to open up all 100,000 orders, so you could see them all in the order browser. Well, you can imagine that would take forever to load. So I made it so that it only would load like your first 1,000 orders, and then we allow our florists to go in the settings and change that. So it'll be like your 1,000 of the most recent orders. More than likely, that's going to be more than enough orders that you want to see at the moment. If they need to see more, they can do a search by order date or delivery date or whatever else like that. But yeah, so when this order form is going to open up or load, we're going to have it load some data in. So that's what we're working on right now. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to double click on the top of the browser. It's going to load us from it's called the design, where it's the actual visual where you can see. If you double click, you go into the code itself. And right now there's not much code at all. All you see when I double clicked on the top bar here is it gave us the code for loading data. So if you look here, it says public class order browser end class. All that means is that everything inside of here, public class order browser and end class, all that is going to execute code for this form. Anything inside of here is going to execute code for you. If you add a button, if you add anything, right? So let's go ahead and right now we double clicked on the top here. It opened up and it gave us the order browser load. And it says it handles mybase.load. So this is basically all this code inside of here does is handle if this form loads, it's going to execute code, whatever you put in here. So we're just going to do some test code. And we're going to do a message box. And we're just going to put in test. That's very, very simple. So when this form loads, it's just going to pop a little generic message box on screen that says test. All right, so we'll make that happen in a second. Let's yeah, we're gonna go to the main screen. So we have our main screen. When you guys saw us run the program, it was just kind of showed the main, like the login area. So I got to move this out of the way. So there's no magic here. This is actually a panel that we have covering everything. So when you log in, all it does is magically make the panel hide itself. So let's put it over here so we can do some work. And we want to make it so when you click on this button right here, what's up, BAP? Yeah, the Sabres are getting freaking rocked right now. Are you kidding me? They got Craig Anderson's in the net now. I don't think it was UPL's fault. I don't at all. Anyways, all right. So we want to make it so when you double click on this button right here, it's gonna open up that new form that we just created here. So I'm gonna double click. So it's kind of neat when you're programming in Visual Basic VB.net. You can actually make it do things by just like without having to do code. It just generates code for you. So I'm double clicking on this button here. When I do that, it automatically generates this code for me. Button 6, click, and then it's got a bunch of information in the middle here, which we don't have to explain that. And then it handles button 6.click. So all this is saying is that when you click on that button, whatever is in the middle of this code here, it's going to execute that. So, yeah, I hope the Sabres can do something better for us. Let's go back into one of our other buttons. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just grab. We're just going to copy and paste code from another button that we've done this already, and I'll explain that a little bit in a second too. All right. Cool thing inside of. I can when you talk, Zach. When you talk, go ahead and talk. Yeah, I can hear him.
You know what it might be? Go to your collab. You have like the mixer. Go to your collab cam.
But I can hear you in my ear, like in my headphones. I can hear you.
You probably have on because I don't know why it's like this. Maybe because I don't know. But so you have to do. When you click on the little toggle wheel for collab cam.
Oh, settings.
Yeah, go to properties and then it will pull up like the collab cam and it'll say it should say monitor and mute output, right?
See. Oh, hold on. Collab cam. I gotcha. Oh, on the right hand side.
Yeah, and then there'll be like
Yeah, you're open. Like it's collab cam.
monitor and output,
Uh.
only and mute output.
Oh, monitor only mute output. I got you. So monitor and output. Got you. There we are.
Because I turned monitor off thinking that that would work, but then I just couldn't. I couldn't hear you.
All right, can you? Hey, BAP, can you hear him now?
You should be able to. Reed said it started working after I did that.
Interesting. That's weird. All right, now we know for future. So on the right hand side here, we just copy and pasted existing code, and you'll probably, and if you're going to be a programmer, you'll be doing the same thing. That's cool. You'll be doing the same thing too. Like I don't know everything in the world. I know I've been programming for 10 years, and I know a lot of stuff that I can do from scratch. But a lot of times you've already done stuff, and why reinvent the wheel? So you go back and copy and paste it, and then you just edit it or alter it, right? So that's what we're doing here. Cool thing about Visual Studio is wherever you create a variable, you can go back to that variable wherever is created by right clicking on it, and you go to definition. So it'll actually take you to the line of code in your program where you define that variable. So let's go to definition. Boom. So right here, we declare all the forms that we're going to be working with. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to copy this. We're going to create a new variable called order browser. And we're going to do that as a new order browser.
You can keep going. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna grab my food real fast.
No problem. So we just defined a new variable called order browser form, and we're defining that variable as an order browser. So basically this variable is linked to the form over here called order browser. Oh, my wifey's coming down here. What's up? You bringing something? Cool. How you doing? You want to make me some hot cocoa? You look very beautiful. The Sabres are getting whooped 4-0 right now. Zach just wanted to go get his food. I'll let him know when he gets back. Love you. All right, so we created a variable called order browser form. Let's go back to where we were. And we're just going to replace the old variable with the new one that we just created. I'll explain what this is doing here in a second. We might do like a low level programming like stream where I can kind of like do like a hello world, and you guys can kind of like take notes if people are interested in that stuff. This is kind of like more of a high level programming thing where me and my center is trying to get this program pushed out so we can get it to market. You know, wife is doing pretty good. So if people watching, if you didn't know, my wife was diagnosed with cancer on her tongue. She has had surgery to have part of her tongue where the cancer was removed, and then she had to have some lymph nodes removed on the left side of her neck as well. So the healing process is kind of crazy because now, like, because their tongue got removed, talking, like, she'll have a little bit of a speech issue. She was supposed to, but she actually talks really, really well. So the healing on her tongue went really pretty smoothly. She did kind of bleed a bunch. Like, we thought we were at a point where her tongue was pretty healed, where she could eat and everything, and then all of a sudden, magically, she started bleeding like really, really bad. So that was kind of scary. But we're past that point now. Her tongue's pretty healed up, but her neck where the incision was for her lymph nodes, that got infected and almost got to as big as a golf ball. And we were thinking, like, we were looking at it, and we were like, man, is that how it's supposed to heal? Will it go down? It never did, and then eventually it, like, pretty nasty. When Zach's eating, but it pops, like, stuff came out of it. So that was infected. Her neck got infected, so we had to get her on antibiotics and take her back to the doc and have them look at it and get it all taken care of. So she's healing from that now. It seems to be pretty well. I took her to dinner last night for her birthday, and she was able to go out and have some food, and that's where we saw the sabers and stuff. But yeah, so long story short, she's doing good. She's healing up. She has to go for another surgery on the 9th of March to remove a couple more lymph nodes, and then once that's done, she'll finally be able to heal and no more surgeries, and we'll be able to get her back on a normal, like, she'll hopefully be able to get back to normal. Let's just pray that the cancer is 100% gone, you know. So all right, back onto the programming side. Well, Zach's eating some, looks like spaghetti, huh? Looks good.
Oh yeah, I actually spelled, well,
Did you?
one of the salt things that there's like the side where you pour it and the side where you shake it out.
Yeah.
I poured it all over it on accident.
Did you clean it up? Or?
No, I'm just eating it. It's whatever.
Man, the saves need to clean their act up there. All right, so back over to the programming side here. If you can kind of see what we're doing here above my head is when we click on this button, right? So what's happening now is when we click on this button right here, it's going to execute this code. And what you're seeing here is it's got an if statement, an if, else, and if statement. So if the order browser form variable that we created is nothing, meaning that, like, the order browser hasn't been opened, it's not in any state, it's nothing, or else the order browser is disposed, meaning you opened it and you dispose of it, then we're going to do this here. What we're going to do is we're going to take that variable, we're going to make it a brand new order browser, and we're going to show the order browser, and we're going to activate it to bring it to the front. Okay, and then so that's if these two things are true, one or the other, it'll do this. If those aren't true, it'll jump down and do this. It'll basically say, the order browser form window state, it wants it to be normal, and we want to bring it to front. So, like, if you had already opened the order browser and it was down at the bottom somewhere, like minimized, it'll know, oh, it's minimized. And so you want the window state to be normal. You don't want to maximize it. You just want it to be normal, and then you want it to bring it to front. So wherever it's at, bring it to the front so we can see it. That's basically what this line of code is. This code's doing. So let's go ahead and test this out. Now, if everything works out the way that it should, and it should, because we know what we're doing, I think. When the order browser opens up, it's just going to pop it. Before it opens up, it's going to say test. And we'll click OK, and then it'll finally open the order browser up. It'll just open the form up. It'll be empty. It won't be nothing special. But let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. Here we go.
Hopefully, Sabres can bring it back in a second.
No, I didn't ask any of the Sabres for pictures. I was going to, like, so me and my wife were there pretty late. So I was like talking to her, like, man, we could just kind of like have an extra drink and just kind of wait here. And then as they walk by, like, hey, Rasmus, can I get a picture? You know, I was like, and she's like, no, they're eating. It's a private thing. Don't. I'm like, all right, no problem. I mean, but when's the next time I'm going to see all the Sabres together, you know?
Next time you go to Gina Carlos.
Maybe next time I go. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Tage there twice already. We gotta change something real quick. Hold on.
They've
So
seen
like,
Allen there multiple times too, right?
yeah, I've seen Josh Allen and Dawson Knox there multiple times. I've never seen Stephon Diggs though, with Josh Allen there. So I forgot to move that main Zach. I forgot to move the main thing over this
Oh
guy
yeah.
here. Bam, bam. I'm just moving this back into position before I run the code again.
We're gonna have to change the. Well, I guess that'd be in the order, right?
What's that?
Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking of something different.
No problem.
Let's say you could look like if you're looking up something by order number, you open up the border browser with that order, then it would show that. But
All right, so if we click on now this new button here that says order browser, if I click on it, it should open the order browser, but as it's opening up as it's in the process of opening, it should say test. So let's see if we did our job. Ready? Here we go. There it is, tests. Hit OK, should open the form up. And the form actually opened on the other screen. Let me bring it to you so you can see it. Pretty cool. We can do it again. And the reason why it's opening on the other screen, I think, is because let's
it's your,
just
it's your main monitor, right?
let me see what's that form. That's another thing in Visual Studio 2022 it's annoying for me. And maybe it's just .NET 7 is after you like get done executing and playing with the code, like run the program, when you go back to get back into the program, it takes a little bit for it to like allow you to do anything. There we go. And come on, baby, you can do it. Yeah, I usually what I end up doing is I X out and I just reopen it again. And it's just until they could fix that bug or whatever.
They fixed it for a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, they fixed it and then it broke again once they did an update. Sounds like EA Sports there. So
Oh yeah.
so if you look at our order browser form, if you click on it, if you look on the right hand side, it says order browser and it's the properties for this form window. Down below here, it'll have start position. So if I go here and look, just kind of scroll down, you'll see start position. I think right there, start position. So this says,
Oh yeah.
oh gosh, my beautiful wife. You want to come on camera for a second? No. Here, say hi to Zach and the stream. So hey guys,
What's up?
So look at my wifey is healing pretty good. Come here. She still looks very beautiful.
Zach. Hi, bud.
And she's healing
Hi, what's
up
going on?
really good.
Love you.
That's Zach's mom. He said love you.
Love you too, honey.
So, but I think she looks amazing.
Oh.
Love you.
Bye, buddy. I love you.
Bye, I love you.
Look what she brought me. Check this out. Hold on. This
That's
is
some
like
hot cocoa.
Peppermint hot chocolate.
peppermint hot chocolate with the.
Don't spill it. It's hot.
Oh, with the bellboy mug or bellboy
Yeah.
game.
Let's go. It's probably hot as a mother. I'm not gonna touch it right now. All right, so getting back into it, we get distracted. If you look on the right hand side, it says start position. So Zach, that was a couple of the issues you had with like when you create that one like login password form.
Oh yeah, it showed
Remember
up. Yeah, because
You just gotta change this to center screen. That's what I usually do. So and what that'll do is, and let's go ahead and save it. What that'll do is wherever your application's running from. So if it's running from your main monitor or monitor 2, it'll always open center screen on wherever the application's running. So let's see if that fixes that problem. This is probably gonna be super high. Yeah, that's hot. Let's log in. And let's go ahead and click on the browser button again that we're doing. Boom, test. And boom, it opens up right where we need it to open up. Very awesome. We're gonna do a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit more cleanup on that browser, on that form before we get into deep programming of loading data. I'm gonna give it an icon. So if you look at that form itself, it's got like the default icon here in the upper left hand side. So we want that to have like the icon that's similar to the icon that you see on the main form. Once I can get it to load, that's a problem for me, man. I hate it when I'm trying to click on the main form here. It's just taking forever to load. I'm gonna X out of it and I'll reopen it again.
Which is crazy because you got a pretty
Yeah, this is a
you
really
got 3070 in there, right?
yeah. I was looking at the 4090. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
The 4090. What do you think about that? I
You
was
trying to
looking
get
at
it?
I was looking at it. It's like $1,700, right? $1,500.
Yeah, I mean, it's a powerhouse of a GPU, but I would watch the Linus Tech Tips video. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't.
He
I'm
goes
not-
into
What?
pretty big depth about like the different, like the 4090, the 4080, and like the price difference and like how much more FPS you get now that you'd be playing games with it, but like what the difference is and why you would need the 4090 over the 4080.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of waiting for the price to come down on that. So, but I'm thinking about it. So, all right. So if you look here in the top of the screen, we have this icon here. We want that icon to match the icon when the form opens up. So that's something so super small to do. Just go back into your order browser form, the design. And then on the right hand side over here, you can see icon somewhere in here. Nope, don't want to click on that. There, form. See, there's the icon default. So you can just kind of click on here and look wherever you store your icon files. So I usually store all my stuff local on the machine. I think. Let me see
OBJ,
here.
right?
No. Trying to think, where do I put my? Give me a second here. I'm trying to remember where I put mine at. Maybe I had to put them in the repo. There you go, right there, icons. So I put mine right here. So it's in the repo still for the repository.
Yeah.
So we'll go right inside of here. So what I ended up doing is I purchased a bunch of icons so that we own them, so that we don't get in trouble for copywriting of using icons from somebody else. That's copyright infringement. So we go in here and let's see if we can find them. I forget what the name of that is called. Like search document or something. This is kind
Oh
of
yeah, I couldn't find it when I was making that.
You couldn't?
Yeah, so I thought you like made it on your computer, but
I don't think I did. I think it's in here. Bear with me for a second. We'll find it. Maybe I did create it. Who knows?
I didn't realize how easy that
That program is?
what is it? Yeah, like merge icon or whatever it's called.
Yeah. And maybe I did create. No, here it is. Right there.
Document viewer. Yeah.
Yeah. Boom. And there it is. We have our icon there. So let's go ahead and save that. And that'll automatically save it into your resources file, so you don't have to worry about like, even though like once I build this, you don't have to worry about like where it's linked to. When you do that icon file for each form, it automatically saves it into the form itself. Did you, Zach? Did you there's no code at all in the browser, right?
No.
You didn't.
I was just messing around with the data
Right.
grid views, and then
Yeah, I don't think. You didn't copy any of the load data, like refresh data stuff, did you? Like the functions.
I think we still have to do build out that table some more,
Okay.
the top one, because I was going through and sifting through what we would need, what we wouldn't need.
Okay.
Obviously, because you don't need like, I forgot what was in there.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that were specific to the floral POS that you wouldn't need in the POS.
Yeah.
There's the icon. Beautiful. We'll get rid of this test so it doesn't keep popping up on us. All right, we only have I only have 2 viewers right now on mine. It's all good. I wasn't 100% sure like how a programming stream would go, like how it would attract people. But maybe in the future, I was saying that we could do like an intro programming thing. So the people that are actually interested in programming, we can kind of give them some low level like insight to programming.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna be doing some like high level stuff here in a second, like loading the data from the MySQL database, connecting, and all that stuff is gonna be. They're not gonna have a clue what's going on, which is fine. This is mainly like to record our dynamic between me and you.
Yeah, we'll have to just chatting's hard. A lot of
Well, unless we got boobs. If we were programming, we both had big boobs, we'd be fine.
yeah, no for sure.
I mean, if we had two like halfway decent looking girls like cleavage hanging, and we were doing the same exact thing, we'd probably be like jamming on. We'd probably have like 50 viewers right now. Problem.
Oh yeah. Programming in a hot tub.
All right. That's funny. So I think I did change this a little bit, Zach, the data grid view. So we have status, order number. This would be the view icon to click on so you can view the order.
Yeah.
Order date, order time, first name, last name, phone, and then the order total. That's all we'll put in there for now. And then what will end up happening is like, so this first data grid view will load with all of our orders, and we won't put any like limit on there. We'll just load everything and then we'll change the limit down the road. But down below is your shopping cart, so that won't load until you actually click on an order here.
Yeah,
once you
I
click
don't know
on-
how big you wanted the shopping cart here. Because the other one you had it like kind of small, but
Yeah, so we'll have the shopping cart. We're going to add some extra stuff on there because you're gonna let them view the order options as well. But like from here, the order options should always be read only. We're not going to let them do any editing from here, like from the screen. If they're going to edit, they have to open the actual order up itself and do all the editing from the order. So my vision is when you click on an order here, it's going to automatically show you all of the items in the shopping cart here, and you still can click on like the item options. So like you had the coffee, it's black, whatever, 2 lumps of sugar. It'll pop that up, but it'll only be read only for them to look at. They can't actually manipulate it there. You follow me?
yeah.
And then once they view the order, then they can do everything like normal inside the actual order itself. We might also want to do like another text box here, or rich text box or whatever, of order notes possibly, so they can kind of, when they click here, it'll kind of give them the first note,
Yeah, the
so they can kind of see it real quick. Yeah. So, but we'll come back to that. So like we have our data grid view 1. Let's go into our code. And let's create a function to load that data when we come in. So let's go grab another function from customers, you think? Oh, inventory. Let's do that. Alrighty then. Load. There we go. Refresh data. So let's go to this definition. Let's copy all this. And let's put this into our our browser code.
We gotta inject it in the top, right?
Yes, you're correct. Boop. Okay. And look, that's pretty freaking bomb. That's
Oh yeah,
kind of
it did already.
that's a new thing. That's a new thing in Visual Studio 2022. So one thing about when you're programming, if you're using stuff that's not readily available to you inside of Windows, it's like an extra feature like the MySQL connector. At the top of every form that you plan on using the MySQL connector in, you have to declare it in the imports. So if you look up top here, it says imports mysql.data. That gives you access inside of this form of anything that mysql.data.dll has available for you to connect to MySQL. If this wasn't here, we would be getting a bunch of errors. We already have errors because of other reasons, but like we would be not able to, this would be airing out like crazy if these weren't here, because it has, let me see if I can just kind of like comment it out and see if it does something special for us here. Yeah, so if you look here, the MySQL client.mysql command it doesn't know what it is because it's red now. And it's because this imports isn't here. If I bring it back, now you notice it's available. It knows what it's doing. So that's kind of like in all programming, even in C++ and C# and stuff. If you're using information that Windows doesn't know about, like it's not in part of .NET, or even part of like whatever operating system you're using, part of the Mac OS or whatever, you have to import it into your system so it knows where to look to be able to use that data. All right, so the other issues we have here is it doesn't know what these variables are. So if we go back into our inventory screen here, let's go back, right click and go to definition. And we want to grab all this stuff here. These are all variables. And we want to bring these babies in here as well. We're going to rename them. Instead of inventory, we'll call it order browser, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, why not, right? And we'll just rename all these the same. And you're like, what are all those things that you're doing it there? So this all has to do with, hold on. So this all has to do with MySQL. So you have a data set, you have a command, you have a connect, and you have an adapter. So data set is basically like a storage area where you can store data. And I'm sure Zach, you kind of knew that already, right? Like what a data set is.
Yeah, because I messed up and forgot to clear it, and
so I'm kind of like trying to explain it the best I can. So like the data set is basically an area where you can save data. So we created a variable called order browser data set, and we set it as a new data.dataset. So it's an area to store data. And then this command, this order browser command, this is the variable we created, is basically just a command that you can, MySQL command. So we're not only programming in VB.NET, but you also, if you know MySQL or SQL is another language, and it allows you to make queries inside of a MySQL database. So that command allows you to send like clear, like a text, like in quotes, select star from whatever. And that's actually not programming in VB, that's programming in MySQL, which we'll actually show you that in a second. We'll actually go into like a MySQL program called SQL YOG, where we can actually run an SQL query against the database, and we can kind of preview the data that we're looking for to see if we get what we're looking for. And then if it's exactly what we're looking for, then we'll copy that query and we'll put it into this command here. Connect actually is just exactly what it is. It's another clear text, a text line of a connection code, and it allows you to connect to the MySQL database. So if you're connecting to a MySQL database, you need a username and password. You need like the database you're connecting to. You need the security, stuff like that. So we've made it really, really simple. We actually have taken If you look here, it says order browser connect as new, blah, 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 connection. And then right here is another variable called database connection. I've actually saved the database connection as a variable, as a global variable on the back side of the program so that we don't ever have to actually declare it ever again. We just basically say, hey, I want to connect. This is the connection we're using. Let's go. That's all that is. I don't know what the adapter is. You have to look it up on the internet. I know I use it. I know I use the adapter, but I don't know 100% what it's for. So, all right, let's go back. Let's go down to our issues that we have down here. So we created these new variables up top. If you look down below, we have errors. It's because it's referencing the old variables, the inventory variables that weren't declared here. They were declared on the other program. So let's just double click on an error. It should take us into the line of code where the error is residing. Boom, boom, there we are. So let's go ahead and copy paste real quick. And we'll see these red marks go away. Most of them.
Combo bot.
So the adapter, I don't know what the adapter's purpose is. I see it right there. It's like adapter.select command. It's basically you're injecting the command that we put in there, right? Like, but I can't explain what the adapter is. I have to look it up on the internet.
Maybe it's you started a new command.
Injects the command into the MySQL.
Or it's the adapter that deals with the
10 years of programming I never really worried about. I know that I need it.
changes it from what you have there to the actual SQL language. You know what I mean?
All I know is where are we at? Oh, on the other side. The Sabres need to score a goal, man, to get back into it.
Yeah, I mean they actually have 12 shots on goal now.
I don't know if we're gonna use all these queries here, but we'll just fix the problem here, and then we'll create a query for the data that we're gonna pull from the database for the order. Pastes. Okay. So this here was just a copy paste from our inventory form. So like this if statement, if blah blah blah, show all items. We literally don't really need any of this stuff here. Let me see here. Let's just get rid of all this. Let's get rid of that statement there. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's get rid of this. Boom, boom. Okay. We'll call this order browser. So Zach, I don't know if you know, like, if you see how it says order browser here, like what this means here and here.
Yeah, that's you're naming the
The
data set order browser, right?
Yeah, so the order browser data set where you're storing the data, it's that's the name of it, order browser data set. But we could actually essentially, if you wanted to, without clearing the data set out, you could do like order browser, and then you can do order browser 1, order browser 2, order browser 3, and you can keep on loading data into the data set, and you can name it whatever you want. So, and then we could come back to it and say, I need to look at data at order browser 1, order browser 2, 3, 4, whatever. I don't like doing that. I just name it this, and then when we want I clear the data out of the data set to empty it, and then we reload it with other data. There's no reason for me to keep on loading data like over and over and over again. That's where that's where memory leaks come, I feel. So also if you guys haven't noticed, like, so when we load into this form, it executes this code right here, right? But outside of this, if we load into this form, this here doesn't get executed at all. This is just what we call a function. We create it's like a separate program, a separate code that we can call. So we call it function refresh data, and we can call that function anywhere inside of here, only in this form. So we could actually, inside of here, we could say, let me get rid of this middle area too. We don't need that right now. So when this loads, we can actually, as the form loads, we can actually run this, which actually what it does, it jumps down here and runs all this code inside of here. That's what a function's for. And the reason what a function really is for is so that you don't have to, so you don't have to do the same lines of code over and over again. So let's say I need to refresh this data multiple times. Like maybe I do it here, maybe I put another button in there, and I got to do the same exact thing. I got to refresh the data to show that data to people. Like maybe they added another order. As they add another order, we need to refresh it again so they can see the order in the order browser. If I had to keep on doing copy and paste of this code over and over again, it would be like a nightmare because now I have thousands of lines of code doing the same thing. So what we can do is we can just keep on doing refresh data. Just call this wherever we need to run these lines of code. We can just call refresh data. The cool thing about this too is you saw there was the lines of code inside of here. You can say refresh data, and then you can actually put variables, and you can send data into that function, and that data will now be available inside of here for this to run. So it's kind of neat. So it's not static. You could actually run like other stuff into the function to make things more functional. You knew that, Zach, ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna create a query. So if you look here, there's like a little MySQL query, right here. And this isn't VB.net at all or VB whatsoever. This right here, this is actually SQL. SQL is another. I think what's SQL stand for? Structured Query Language, maybe. I don't know.
I think so, yeah, something like
But
that.
so yeah, SQL. If you're looking at learning different languages and stuff, obviously I recommend VB.net at the beginning because that's a very, very easy. I feel it's a very easy language to learn. There's a lot of like stuff you can look up on the internet to help you like solve problems, but it's a good stepping stone for you to learn other languages. If you understand VB, then like C# or C++, they kind of function the same, but they're just a little bit different the way that they structure their language. So SQL is another language I do recommend that people learn, especially if you're going to do database stuff, because you got MySQL, you got Microsoft SQL, you got Oracle, you got all these different databases, but they all function on SQL or no SQL, but I recommend SQL. So let's go ahead and grab this data, this query, and let's go into it's called SQL YOG. I don't have it on my. I think I do have a program. I do have it installed. There it is. Boom. And bring it over. So this is a free program you can download. It's called SQL YOG, and it allows you to connect to a database. So we have it's a database here, and then we have our different tables, our different databases. We have the POS. We have the Floral POS's database right here. It's got tons of stuff in here as it opens up. So there's tons of tables in there. But this is the one we're working on right now called the POS. You can see the tables that we have. We have quite a few, but not a whole lot. And we're going to be pulling the data from this table right here. You only have one order in there? Oh, because I didn't save a bunch at all, did I?
Yeah, and I think you deleted them out before you sent up the.
Before I saved it, let's just run it real quick.
Yeah, save the database because you just grabbed this database from the one you sent me, right?
Yeah, let me comment this all out so our errors go away. I think we're good after that, right? Yeah. Let's run this real quick. Let's just save a couple of orders. So we have some data to play with.
Your brother? Playing some CS right now. Probably not.
Let's see if we can grab mom's info here. Take an order for mom. Boom. It's location number 2. So take order. Location 2. Let's add some items in the cart for her. Let's save. Oops. Let's save it. Boom. Beauteous. Okay. So now if we just kind of get out of here and go into the database, there should be a bunch of them. Yeah, we got three orders in there. Beautiful. Beautiful, Clark. So
Easy.
oh, where'd you go? Get back in there. So SQL is, again, it's another language that you should learn. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste this in here, and we're gonna grab some data. Actually, I can just do select star. So in a simple form, I can say select star from. Oh yeah, we don't need any of that stuff. Select star from. What the heck was that? Star from order. That's it. And that should give me exactly the same information as this. So as we run this, and you should see that happen. Execute query, bam. Same exact data. And then you could do like you could do a query where you like, all I want to do is select like just the order number. So you can select the order number, order underscore number, which is that column right there from order. And that's all you get. And then you could actually do it a little bit. You could actually go a little further on that. You could actually go crazy and say like, okay, I want to select order number from order, and then you could say where. And you can say where, like let's say the order total. Well, it's customer ID equals 1. This just for fun. Where cust ID equals 1. So it should just be this one right here.
Yeah, 393.
Actually, we have to do location too. Well, it'll still work.
Yeah, it'll work for this one because there's only one in there.
So select the order number from, and if we want to see all the data, we just say, go back to star again. Select star from order where customer equals 1. There you go, customer number 1. That's the order. Blah blah blah. So that's basically like SQL in a nutshell. So it's not VB, it's just SQL. So what I end up doing is like when I'm trying to make a query work to show the data on the screen, I'll run the query here first to make sure it's getting the data I want, and then we'll go from there. So for me, I don't think I need anything special. We're just gonna do select star from and see what happens. And we'll build it. We're just gonna select star from order.
Oh, you just see what happens in here?
Yeah, I'm thinking also, Zach, we probably should add the location up top, huh? Because we're multi-location. So like a drop down.
Like of what location order you're looking at?
Yeah. So like let's say that you have the POS installed on multiple locations. So like, let's say we have it in Akron, we have it in Texas, we have it all over, but we're the same company, we're connected. So when I open up my order browser, I only want to see orders for my location that where I'm at. I don't want to see all orders for every location.
Yeah.
Since we are making this a multi-location program, right? So I mean that would be pretty easy. All we gotta do is let's move this out of the way.
Yeah, it's basically do exactly what we did.
With the customers.
Yeah.
Go here. Let's grab this bad boy here. Copy.
Look up at it.
Oh yeah, this hot cocoa is tasting so good now that it cooled off.
You might have these cookies here, but It is disappointing.
So what we'll end up doing, Zach, is like with the floral POS. Let me run that real quick. 'Cause I have the floral POS on here as well. I'll bring it over. So the floral POS is not multi-location, unfortunately. I'm bringing it over here in a second. It's loading, it's taking forever.
Yeah, you'd have to update the database for that, right?
For what?
To make the floor POS multi-location.
Yeah, I'm leaving it, right? We're not. It's just too old. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it'd be a pain
I'm not
in the
gonna make it
ass.
multi-location like we are doing with the POS. So, all right. So here's the floral POS, and this is a fully seasoned application. So if I go in the order browser here, see up top here, Zach, where we have all the search areas.
Yeah.
So what we'll end up doing is we're going to do the same thing for here, but what we'll do is the location will be up here as well. So we'll still have the capability to print and all that stuff here, the receipts and all that from clicking, but maybe here before we do search by, we'll have location as well. That way we can optionally select it. But you can kind of see what I got going on here. If you click on an order, it shows you the items in the basket. And then if they have a card message, it shows the card message. But we're not doing card messages in the POS. And then we have like the order notes here as well. So. And then if you look,
Easy enough.
see how it says order limit? I think I have set to 400. Before that was just like a free for all Wild West, you know? All right, let's close this out of here.
The little switches are gonna be a pain in the butt, huh?
What's that?
Those little switch buttons are gonna be kind of a pain in the butt.
Yep, I might
Or
assign
just-
that. Oops,
Just
I might
tedious.
assign that to you. Yeah, because all those switches are a bunch of
Check boxes, right?
check boxes, yeah, and we just like go from one icon to the other. Has Sabres score yet? No.
No.
That sucks. All right, let's go back in here.
What's that?
All right, so let's go back into our customer screen here. And so when this loads, customer screen loads, it loads locations. And home carriers, load locations. So let's go ahead and find that function. All right, let's go ahead and grab this function and copy. We're going to bring it over to our other form. Okay, same thing. We'll go back over here and grab those variables, and we'll bring those over as well.
Yeah, you just use the same ones, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so this actually should just work the same. Customer search location. Are we doing? We're not doing a search, are we? On this one, we're just doing location. I guess we could do customer search location too. Because I'm thinking that when you do a search, you could search by location as well if you wanted to. So let me grab that variable as well. Oh, I'm in the wrong area. There we go. Go to definition, and then we want a customer search location. That's gonna be up top. It's probably gonna be like a public. Let's go to definition. There you go. Customer location, search location. We'll grab those, and we'll bring that over to order browser as well.
Yeah, because you can search by customer too, right?
Yeah. All right, so blah 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 looks good. So when we load locations here in the order browser, we select start from locations. So if we just kind of look, if you want to see what that does, we go from here, we can copy this and we can put it into our MySQL query. And it'll give us this. Easy peasy. All right, still looks good. So if customer search location doesn't equal anything, then do this, else do that. So we're basically doing, we grab that data from here that you see here. We grab this data, we load it into our data set, and then we say like, hey, if somebody's searching for a customer from a certain location, if they're searching, then do this one. So you're searching by customer search location. If not, we want to grab the location just for the location of the shop. Easy peasy. And then we grab that and then we throw that information into the lookup edit value. So let's just go ahead and see. Let's load this when the form loads. So when the form loads, it's going to load locations, and then it's going to refresh data, and we'll have a refresh data based on location as well. But we'll do that in a minute. First time chatter. Is that shoot first? Shoot first. What's up? What we're doing, we're just programming. My son and I are doing a programming session for an application that we're going to be releasing later on this year. So we're just doing some just chatting. We're programming in VB.net using Visual Studio 2022. Sit back and relax and fall asleep because, yeah, it's programming. It's not girls with big boobs hanging out, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and run this real quick, Zach, and see if it loads the locations into that upper left. Come on, Sabres.
Look up at it.
Oh, Toronto's got a power play too.
Scored again, 5-0.
They scored, yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Doing
did they
well.
score? No, did they score or not score?
Yeah,
Oh,
they scored.
they did score, yeah. Damn, man, we are really, really bad at this point. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing coming home and
Zach, we have an application error, man. See, we're not perfect, boys. Gotta find out why that error happened in the refresh data. Actually, in the refresh data we do. That's because I commented out that one section.
okay.
That's all good.
But
you can
that's
see-
just that, yeah.
But yeah, so it's pulling our locations up here. See that? So that's cool. Let's take a look at this again once it comes up. But shoot first. Thanks for chatting. What's going on, man? We're also watching the Buffalo Sabres getting their butts clapped tonight.
I mean, he almost had that save, but
What's our defense doing? Like, we got 4 guys in front of the net, like, with no idea what's going on. Oh, because it looks like, yeah. And it just goes to show you, UPL is what is the problem. Our defense right now is just,
giving him a bunch of chances,
yeah.
like good chances.
Every time I see somebody at Giancarlo's, the next game they get whooped on. Happened with Josh Allen and the boys too.
They probably got too drunk the night before. Gina Carlos. Place is pretty good though.
That's pretty awesome.
Only been once.
Oh really? Well, I'll take it back when you get back in New York. In New York.
Yeah, I thought it was on par with the chop house.
Yeah, their steak's amazing. I had steak last night too. Steak and lobster. So I'm just I'm gonna set the null text. If it's null, it's gonna say location. So that's all I'm doing for the Water browser as well. So if it looks like it already is there, but let's take a look. All properties. Yeah, okay, it's there already. Happy camper there. And then also if you go back into here, if you double click on this, we have it doing this. So let's do the same. Let's grab this code. What this is doing is grabbing the location number. So it's setting that variable. I'll show you in a second. Alrighty. I don't know what this button 15 was for. Oh, it's the add button. Okay, we don't need that. So this can go away. This can go away. Bump, gone. We'll leave this refresh data here, but what we're doing, so it's customer location. We inject it in here. So let's go back into our function for refresh data. So we can do by val o customer location. We can actually uncomment this now. And then all we want to do is select star. All right, select star from order. From order. And we want to do where. We don't need item ID at all. There we go. So select star from order where location equals, and it'll be, oh shit, I deleted it. We can grab this right here. I think, is this already up here up top somewhere? Yeah, I don't need to do that actually. We already declared it outside. No, I definitely need to actually. I'm just thinking in my head. I definitely got to create a variable here. By val o.
Because then that makes it so you have to put something in the parentheses,
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna call it customer location. We'll get rid of we'll call it search location. Okay. We're just gonna call it not customer search location. We can call it just search location. We'll get rid of this altogether. And then when we do that, I'm just thinking while I'm programming. When we do the this guy here, we'll do search location equals search location here. Boom. Nope, we don't need it. What's this gonna go? Okay, leave it there like that. Okay. So also when it loads, we load locations. Go to definition. Select star from locations. Got you. And then it says customer search location. This is search location. Boom. And this is just search location. Gotcha. Boom. That's perfect. That looks good. So if we're searching for a location, it'll pop in there. If we're not, it'll just use the default location.
Yeah.
Makes sense, I guess. So we're gonna let it refresh the data. We're gonna see what happens. I don't think I've assigned anything inside of the data grid view to like correlate the data with the columns, but we'll see.
I think I did a couple. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Look at you. Look at you. I'm gonna move that over real quick. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Data showing up.
Working good the first time.
And Apollo walking by in the background.
Come here, buddy. Come here.
Doing a drive by. Damn you, Sabres.
You're still getting there. Let's go.
This sucks.
Hopefully they can put up a goal.
I mean, this is we needed like every point that we can get. I mean, obviously it's not a make or break one, but we need to just kind of we need to stack some points, man.
You being weird, huh? Oh.
All right. Inside the data
Okay.
grid view, I want like lines to separate stuff.
He's a heavy man. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how the lines disappeared.
Yeah, like we're supposed to have some
No.
kind of like little lines in there. We'll see how that goes here. Let's see here. There's a bunch of settings in here.
Yeah. What's up, you hound dog? Take a nap here, buddy.
That background music's like soothing. So we have a single border here. Cell. Oh, there you go. Cell border style none. Let's go with like single. Boom. There we go. See how that works. Let's roll it. Trying to sell this card that I have. That
Oh, one of your
yeah.
NHL?
Yeah, it's a girl, so they put girls in NHL, and this girl's pretty quick. She's small. She's like 5'5", 130.
Yeah, I saw you. You said she's just all fast.
And she's a fast card, but like nobody wants to buy her. I got her pretty cheap too, but she's a 93 overall. I'm not trying to give it away. People don't want to spend the money on the women. If it was a woman with big boobs, you'd be spending the money. But like, no, it's just a skater, a 5'5", 130 skater. Not doing nothing. There we go, Zeke.
All looks good. I put them in for all that stuff.
No, you didn't. So
I just added them. It added
it auto adds on. Yeah. But that's kind of cool. It's there. Location 2, there is no orders. Location 1, for sure, there's orders. I'll see automatically when we do it. Now we have to we'll have to fix it so when we click on all, it automatically knows to search for everything.
Yeah.
So we'll have to fix that too. But I think right now it's going on. It's 9 o'clock. We start at 7:30. So if we do the stream, so what's your take on the stream programming sessions?
Me?
Yeah. It's not taking away from you learning anything, right?
No.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't think there's like a.
A negative side to it?
I don't think anybody else is doing it on Twitch.
No.
So why not?
So I'll see. I'll try to make it more fun too. Like, we'll see what happens there. I'm just gonna try to come up with ideas. But obviously, the programming part is I want to keep on doing this. So, but yeah, I think it's cool. So right now,
I mean,
what do you think? Like 7:30 to 9:30 is pretty good. Is that good for you?
yeah. I mean,
Well, it's 6:30, 8:30 for you, right?
yeah, and then I go to the gym. I'm trying to go to the gym at like 5
5 p.m. or 5 a.m.
a.m.
Okay. Yeah, so I think 7:30, 9:30 is probably good. That way we're not keeping you on too long. 'Cause I know me and you have programmed like till 10, 11 o'clock at night sometimes. So
Yeah, which
All
isn't
right.
bad.
yeah, it's not terrible. But I think for the stream we'll do 7:30 to 9:30. Keep it a schedule. To try to do it Monday through Thursday if I can. If not, like if we can't, we can't. It's all
Yeah, we have
good.
stuff going on. But...
Also, like if you want to try to stream a game together, one of the days too, like we'll program like three of the four, and then one day we could just play a game. If you want to try to get me into Counter-Strike, or if you want to try like some Call of Duty or whatever.
Yeah, if
You
you
know.
play Counter-Strike, that you'd have to play with mouse and keyboard.
I know. Well, I played before, but remember it was a mouse, keyboard, and controller. Remember that?
Yeah, it was weird, but
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
It worked.
You could. But I think we'd have to get your account up to level to play competitive, but that'd be pretty easy. Let you learn the game.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, my son at 5 years old, we won't tell him about what happened to you, because it's kind of embarrassing, that situation.
Nah,
but
that's fine.
but no, when my son was younger, like around 5 years old, he was playing competitive Counter-Strike with us. We would play in it wasn't Counter-Strike Go at the time, it was CS 1.6 before it went to
Yep.
CS 2.0. And he was actually playing competitive with us. We played in the Cal, it's called Cal League, and we were actually pretty competitive there. And at 5 years old, he was holding down the fort. Little Bellboy was holding the fort down, baby.
I wonder if they still have.
Like literally, a 5-year-old was schooling a bunch of like older adults that were playing this game. It was awesome.
You know what Cal like level we were in?
No, I don't remember. I know we were pretty much close to the top. I know that we played competitively at a high level, and it's actually kind of crazy because we were in Virginia Beach at a Wendy's, and we sat down to eat when you guys were with us, and the guys that were behind us were in the Cal League as well, and that's the guys that we played against. Two of the guys were the guys we played against. We talked to them about it.
Oh, really?
In a small world, yeah, they're in Virginia Beach at a freaking Wendy's, and we sat down there. Like, how small a world is that? And we
Oh,
had
yeah.
those are the guys that you actually beat. The two of the five, because it was 5-on-5 that you took out. Because we literally in one of our matches, we had 5 guys playing. Zach was one of the 5 years old, and we all 4 were down. And all you have this little 5-year-old running around, and there was they still had all 5 of their guys, and he took them all out and cleaned it up for us.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
No, I'm not as good. I lost it all.
So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna stop here with the browser. We'll continue on tomorrow, same exact thing. I won't touch it. We'll move all these and we'll fit them in, make it look good and stuff. We'll get this top all looking pretty and all that. And we'll get into the click motions. When you click here, it'll open up the order. That's kind of what we wanted to do anyways, because we wanted to go take the order screen a little further, but we really couldn't until we had the order browser.
Yeah.
But we'll take the order browser a little step further tomorrow, same time, 7:30. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload. So it's kind of crazy. Like when we were this is something new to me. I've never done it before in a programming world, but we actually sync all of our stuff up to a place called GitHub, and it's a repository where we can actually store, like we can program together. So I can give Zach assignments to work on. He can work on it on his side of the fence, and he uploads it with notes of what he did. And I can work on stuff on my side of the fence, and I can upload what I did, and it'll actually sync all our stuff together. So it's kind of a neat way to work remotely with each other. And I'm pretty sure it's what all other big software developer companies have done. I never did it before in the past. I always programmed everything myself, so I always had code in house, never had to share it. The only issue that we're coming across is when we do program, we always make sure that we don't program it in the same form. So if we're working on the order browser right now, and I'm like, hey Zach, I need you to do this in the order browser, I'll stay out of the order browser, because if I work in the order browser, he works in the order browser. When we try to merge things together, it creates a nightmare for us. And we've had a problem where it broke the whole system. We couldn't do anything. We had to go through the system and figure it out, right, and try to merge things together.
We had to restart some of it.
Yeah, it was a pain. So what we end up doing, it's kind of until I can figure out how to do it so we can work on the same stuff, I'll assign them something, then I'll work on a different form. Like if I have new stuff in the order browser, I'll work like in the main screen or a totally different form or a different area. And we don't ever cross paths that way, and it works out really good. So over here in the Visual Studio, we have a tab called Git Changes. And it shows you everything that we worked on that has changed according to what, Git has. It's the code up there, and it'll compare it to what you've done, and it knows what's changed. So I can just put a little note in here, a little love note. It says order browser. There we go. We started, and I'm going to commit it, and then I'm going to send it on its way. And away it goes. It's gone. Successfully pushed. So now that everything we've done right now is up in the cloud in GitHub, and Zach can pull that down whenever he's ready. And then if you Zach, if you need help getting your system, if you're get back together tomorrow and it's not working, let me know. I'll help you out.
Yeah, I'll let you know, because right now I'm getting a lookup edit 3 is not declared. It may be inaccessible due to its protection level.
It might have something to do with your DevExpress. I get the latest version of DevExpress.
Yeah, I just installed it, and then I close this out and just reopen it. But I'll
Yeah, play with it. Let me know.
have to look at like the DevExpress in there. See what happens.
We're dual streaming too. We're on YouTube as well.
Are you streaming on YouTube as well?
Yeah, I'll probably get. I don't think I'll get in too much trouble. Maybe I will. Who knows?
For dual streaming? Nah.
You're not supposed to, like. So I don't know if you saw, but like I use Streamlabs. I use same thing. Right? I use OBS, Streamlabs OBS or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they have regular OBS, and they just created one of the streamer guys who bought a company. I forget the name of the company. Created a neat thing that you can, while you're streaming, you can actually stream to any like vertical video platform like
Like
TikTok or YouTube Shorts, the YouTube thing.
Yeah.
You can create a YouTube short clip or whatever. That's on a vertical, and it automatically creates it for you. You don't have to actually like format it the way. Once you have the plugin installed, you can kind of mirror like your setup to be vertical, and it will actually be at the same time. And then you can actually go live on the vertical platform and on the normal platform like Twitch or YouTube and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, some good stuff. Any questions?
No, not so far.
I mean, I only have 2 viewers. I think at the height of our excitement this evening, we were at 4 on my channel. So if anybody watching has questions for us, how to get started being a programmer, what it's like being a programmer, where that Josh Allen poster came from. We're gonna stay live
nice.
until about 9:30. We're gonna try to give the last 10 to 15 minutes of the stream from like 9:15 to 9:30 as Q&A time. So we're just gonna sit here and hang out, and if you guys have any questions for us, we're open to questions. Yes, I did get my hair cut today. Thanks for that question. No, I'm just joking. Nobody asked that question at all.
I got mine cut over the weekend.
If you want to, Zach, I don't know, on your stream, do you have like a it's Space Wizard like camera wrap? What do we call it? Did he create you the camera?
No, I didn't have to do that. I mean, I kind of just have like an intermission thing.
Because I was gonna say if you had that created, I would actually I'll grab it from you and I'd put it on your collab cam.
I think I can.
We got our first question of the evening. It's 3 questions. First question is, why are the Sabres so bad?
Was that really the first question?
that was the first question. It's from
I don't know.
it's from Sadingo. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with them. I expected them to give Toronto like a run for their money today, right? Like I expected it. Didn't happen. Maybe we go for Timo Meyer. Maybe that helps out. And then the second question was, why am I a Sabres fan? Not me. Why is because Sadingo's a Sabres fan as well. And yeah, we're a glutton for
It's
punishment.
rough.
And the third question is, what language do you code in? So right now our language that I love, and Zach loves it probably because I love it. It's VB.net. So I've programmed in multiple different languages, and VB.net has been the most reliable code to program. It's easy to learn. There's tons of examples online for most everything that you want to accomplish. They always say they're gonna end it. Like Microsoft's gonna get rid of VB, but they really can't ever. So VB.net's what we program all of our software into. The next up and coming language to learn after that's called C#, C#. That's actually C#. That's probably replacing most all languages going forward. It'll replace C++. It'll replace VB. You can program like desktop apps. You can program websites with C#. I've dabbled in C#, and it's kind of a pain in the butt because they have a lot of curly brackets and stuff. So everything I can do in VB, if I do an if statement, if then else statement, in C# you got to do if, and then you have that open bracket, and then you got to close the bracket at the very end with no end if. It's kind of a pain in the nutsack. But yeah, so VB.net is what we're programming in. The IDE that we use, the interface that we use to program in VB.net is called Visual Studio. It is free. They have the Visual Studio Community Edition, and you can download it right from Microsoft. And they also have a free version for Mac OS. If you're trying to dabble on the Mac, you can use that. I played with that a little bit, Zach, the Mac version of Visual Studio.
Yeah.
I thought because .NET 7 and 8 and going forward is like open source and supposed to be available on Mac OS, that like Visual Studio would just be like easy peasy, man. Just we'll put it on the Mac and I'll just be able to load it up and things will work.
Works, yeah.
No, there's no Windows Forms or forms like there is in Windows, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. Everything's like console stuff. Like you can program something like a console app with no forms, and it'll work fine. But
They don't have
Yeah.
like what do they use instead of forms?
they don't have forms at all in Visual Studio, but they have their version of forms, like in the other language. What is it, Swift or whatever?
Yeah.
So, to me, like I think they should, if they can get Visual Studio unified, where I can program a WinForms or just call it a Forms app inside of Mac OS and Windows, and I can just kind of make them the same. You know, instead of calling to the C drive, call to the root drive, and we have the same libraries available to us, the MySQL library and all that. That'd be really cool.
It'd be too easy.
Sidingo says I have only experience in Python and SQL. SQL is a really good feather to have in your cap. Python, I think that's like, for me, Python's like, it's like Python. Zach, what's Python used for? Is that like mainframes and stuff like that?
It's a high.
It's like a console.
It's
you
a
got
high
like,
level
you got like
general
binary.
purpose. programming language.
assembly, and then Python, right?
Its design philosophy emphasizes code readability with the use of significant indentation. Python is dramatically typed and garbage collected. It supports multiple program paradigms, including structure.
I've come
Object-oriented
across
functional programming.
Python before, but I've never actually like said, "Hey, let's learn Python." I hear a lot of like programmers have Python experience, but I've never actually had a reason
kinda-
to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like fucking like SQL. You like put stuff into database stuff.
That's cool, Sadingo. Like programming is like such a cool like new thing to do. Like people have been programming for a while, but like everything nowadays has software involved in it, from a car to your phones to, so like to me like it's the thing to do. And then if you're good enough at it, you can write your own ticket. You know, I luckily opened my own software company, so I do my own thing. But like if you're a good enough software developer, you can do anything, side work, open your own business.
Yeah.
I'll just be happy to grab one goal from Toronto, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey
I think we just need
Sadingo,
to be more physical too. So
for asking that question. DM me your address. I'll send you a Bellboy Gaming mug. Okay. You can't see it because the lighting's kind of crappy, but yeah. I'll send you a Bellboy Gaming mug.
you get those
Or-
printed off of
Streamlabs, yeah. Yeah, so all I do is I go on there and order it like myself, but I'll just send it to I've sent it to two other watchers. They ask on Twitter. I was like, yeah, I'll send you guys one. You guys want one? You get a drink out of it? Support me? Let's go. Yeah, Sadingo, if you're still listening, send me like a DM. I'll get you a Bellboy Gaming mug. Mug or a mouse pad? Let me know if you want a mouse pad or a mug. Zach, I'll send you a mouse pad if you want one.
Yeah. Are they the big ones?
No, it's not. It's not the long one. It's just a regular mouse pad. It'll look like.
Oh, it'll still be good for my MacBook.
Yeah.
Use it for that.
Sadingo's like definitely not good enough for that, but I do enjoy the technology. So Buffalo's got a power play. Hopefully they can score. Come on. I mean, nothing. Take nothing from Toronto. Toronto's a really good team, so they got. I don't know how Toronto has enough money to keep the people they have on their team. Like now they have Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah, Austin
They got
Matthews.
Austin Matthews. They got John Travaris, Mitch Marner. Who else they got, guys? Give me some names. They got a lot of good players, a lot of really good players. You're like, how are they keeping all these players on their team?
I'll tell you.
I think that we should go after. So there's a player on the Sharks. The Sharks are kind of dismantling their squad. They're tanking, and they have a player on their squad called Timo Meyer. He's like 6'1", 195, 200 pounds. Really good player. I think the Sabres should go after him. I think he'd help. He's not super old. He's like, I think he's 24, 25 years old. So he'd fit in with the young team that we have.
Yeah, I didn't know we were the youngest in the NHL.
Yeah, we're super young.
I thought that was the Detroit who's rebuilding, or
Right now, the Blackhawks are like,
yeah, it's the Blackhawks. Yeah.
they're selling everybody. I'm surprised that Kane's selling that team. He's a little too old for that team, isn't he?
Yeah. I know they got a bunch of young guys on there too, but
So if the Sabres, so like there's like a trade deadline. I don't know what date it is. Oh, come on. But there's a trade deadline in hockey. It's coming up really close, so they literally got to go through every year during that trade deadline. There's like people making these big deals, right? So that's where Ryan O'Reilly was one of the big trades before the trade deadline. But if the Sabres don't make any trades before the trade deadline, to me, it either thinks that they either think our team's good enough to go to the playoffs right now because we're pretty close, or they're like, hey, you know what, we just don't want to. That's not part of our situation. We don't care if we go to the playoffs at all this year. And maybe next year we'll do something like that. You know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Hopefully we'll make it at some point.
I want to go to a playoff game. I've never been to a Sabres playoff game ever. Like, I know that they were in the playoffs when I was a lot younger, a bunch of times, but
Be
it would
cool
be
to go
neat.
to one.
Yeah. The Sabres scored.
Every time I turn it off, someone scores.
I think it was Jack Quinn popped one in. It's my TV behind me is faster than my phone. My phone's like in front of me.
Yeah, it's faster. Yeah, you just scored him.
Yeah, you got it right in the corner. I like Jack Quinn. Let's go. Plus, we have a couple of goalies coming up too. I think UPL and Devin Levi, who's our prospect goalie coming out of college, who's really super good. I think they could hold down the net for us.
Yeah, UPL is good if our defense doesn't let them
Yeah.
get a breakaway.
Yeah, I feel this game the defense let down UPL big time. He should be pissed. Sedingo said they're only paying 1.8 million for Ryan O'Reilly, which is pretty wild. That's pretty damn cheap.
He's a pretty good player, and he's older, so you think you'd want more.
Yeah, and he's older, but he's like a veteran. He's solid. Like he's a solid like point getter. He'll get you points. He'll grind out points for you. You know.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, do they just have him for this year?
Yeah, I don't think he signed a long-term deal. I think they do got him for this year, and then they'll probably re-up him next year if they want to keep him.
Oh, yeah.
They know
I'll
they're
probably
going
try
to.
ask.
They know they're going to the playoffs. So every extra player like that helps them out, for
Oh, yeah.
sure. All right, so we're right around 9:30, guys. I appreciate everybody coming on and hanging out with us during a small little programming session. We did a little bit. And that's kind of what we do anyways when we get together. We don't like spend like we're not grinding in late evenings trying to finish the whole thing. We just kind of go through and get done what we can, and then we go the next day, the next day, the next day. So we're gonna try to make this a nightly thing from 7:30 to 9:30 when we can. And then I would like to try to do like one time in the evening, 7:30 to 9:30, where we actually play a game together, where we kind of do like the dual stream and play a game. And we could invite other people on the stream too, Zach. Like that link that you clicked on, you can actually click on it and your phone can connect to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like you can have like up to 4 people. So I was thinking I was gonna set this up for the NHL community, but I want to do like a Hut Champs stream with like 3 other hockey guys, and we'll all 4 of us will play our Champs run together, like however many games, and every time you lose, you gotta take a shot. Like when you lose one of your games, you take a shot. So I usually get 11 wins most of the time, so that's 9 losses, that's 9 shots. But I don't plan on playing 20 games in the stream session. I figure we probably could get 10 games in.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not
we
a
got
bad idea.
we got a break. Ooh. All right. I think we're gonna end the stream right there.
Yeah.
You cool?
Yeah, we'll get back tomorrow.
Yep, for sure. All right, I love you,
Love you too.
and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll tell Mom you love her.
Yeah. Tell her. I'll text her too.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Love you.
See you guys. Thanks for coming
Peace
out.
out.
Thanks for coming on board. Later.